Hi, here I am again, and this time we will talk about the metaverse, and I can assure you that this is going to be very, very interesting. In episode 2, we learned about NFTs, and we'll also see the correlation of this to metaverse. Just to set the stage, in this episode, we will understand what the metaverse is, and in the next episode, we will talk about the application of the metaverse. So what is the metaverse? Now, most of us have heard this word, are also aware of what's happening here, but it is possible that we are not completely clear on what it means. So the goal of this episode is to try and understand what the metaverse means. Right? Now, before we can start understanding and talking about metaverse, let's try and basically understand the meaning of this word. And for simplicity, for understanding, I'm going to break the word into two parts, the meta and the verse. Now, meta in Greek means transcending or beyond or more comprehensive or something across basically. Verse is the other part of the word universe. So the metaverse, I would say, is some sort of a parallel universe beyond our physical universe, which is presented to us in a digital format. But here is an interesting fact. The word metaverse is not new. In fact, it is as old as Web 1.0 is. And Web 1.0 is how old? 30 years old. We spoke about this in our first episode. Right? So if metaverse is 30 years old, then we need to go back a little bit in the history of metaverse. So the word metaverse was first introduced or mentioned in 1992 in a fictional novel named Snow Crash by author Neal Stephenson. Now, Neal Stephenson in that book defines the concept of the metaverse and explains what it would look like. Later, the novel was dramatized into a movie called Ready Player One. And if you get a chance, you should go and watch that movie. It's a great movie actually. Right? Also, the concept of metaverse is not new. What do I mean with this? Now, in the early 2000s, there was a platform, and there is still actually, and the platform is called Second Life. It's an online digital portal where you can actually have a second life. That's what it really meant actually. A second life which is digital in nature. And in this digital platform, okay, you could do several transactions that you do today in the world. For example, you could buy land, you could attend conferences, you could build a house, you could have a car, drive a car, right? And the metaverse is not kind of, different from that, really speaking, okay? But the only challenge is that at that point of time, AR, VR or blockchain or even the principles of Web 3.0 were not clearly laid out, right? So what is different today? Today, the metaverse uses technologies and principles that did not exist back then. And the same principles and technologies that we spoke about and is speaking about, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, Web 3.0 as a principle, blockchain as a core platform. So these are technologies that are basically present today by which the metaverse is getting built. So this is great, right? We now kind of at least have a definition of metaverse, if I might call it. The question is then, how do I visualize this idea of a metaverse? Because we are now talking of augmented reality, virtual reality, which is not real reality, right? Which is not real. So you need a mechanism to basically be able to visualize this metaverse. One way obviously is that you can go and see the movie, but over here let me explain how it is going to work. Okay, so think of the metaverse as a simulated digital world. This simulated digital world is aided by mixed reality technologies, and typically mixed reality technologies means augmented reality, virtual reality and extended reality, right? This then is supported by core technologies and principles and concepts such as Web 3.0, gaming, blockchain, data, cloud, AI/ML, IoT and others. Now, this might sound too techy to you basically, right? But the point is that it is important to appreciate what kind of technologies actually go into creating the metaverse, right? It is the confluence of these technologies that makes up the metaverse, which in turn offers to us a three-dimensional immersive experience, right? If you already know about AR, VR, it is all about experience, right? That AR, VR along with other technologies makes it possible for a immersive experience, a three-dimensional immersive experience in the metaverse. And when I say three-dimensional, it is not like a simple web portal where you do shopping today. You can actually see a shopping mall in 3D format and not only see it but also walk through it basically, right? Now, most if not all real transactions or interactions that we consume today can be simulated in the metaverse, and these can be classified as work related activities or transactions, play and entertainment, okay, which are possible inside this metaverse. Now you might say work, play and enterprise and entertainment, right? So we'll talk about that in little more detail as we go to the next episode. But for the clarity of this episode or metaverse, let's talk about what is possible really in the metaverse. So to tell you the least, in the metaverse you can own land. You're surprised? I was also basically, right? But it really is possible. Now if you own land, the obvious next thing is to build a house on that. Okay, if there is a house, there are potentially shopping malls, so you would want to go shopping basically, right? Now the other thing that you can do for entertainment is play games, right? And there are several of these games today which are very, very popular in the metaverse, right? Attend office, sounds funny, right? Well, we'll see. Okay, now visit various tourist locations. Imagine you staying at home but visiting Tokyo or visiting Disneyland in Paris. Possible? No? Maybe. Let's see, right? Or participate in live concerts, watch movies, watch games. Imagine watching a football match as being available in a stadium. The only difference is that the stadium might have a capacity of 30,000, 50,000 participants. Metaverse is limitless. The football ground can be the same size, but the stadium can be unlimited in size, which means that you potentially can have millions of participants, millions of fans attending the same match. You could have a friend who's not near you just now, maybe he's in the US or in France, and you potentially would be able to communicate with him while watching this game through the metaverse. So you see what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is basically a possibility that the metaverse brings. One more thing I would want to talk about before I leave is the NFT and the metaverse. NFT is core to the metaverse and it's functioning. And in the next episode, when we start talking about the application of metaverse, we will see why I say this basically, right? And that is the key to the metaverse, right? So to end this basically, I say let's talk about metaverse and NFT in the next episode. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and as usual, I will be responding to your comments. Thank you.